Hey guys, we'd like to welcome everybody to the Coach Smith Show. We're about to get started. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We have a special guest tonight that's going to help me host because our host is at his son's game. This is the second edition, but the one and only Freezy Smalls, Coach Smalls. Hey!
How's it going? Thank you. Give a shout out to Christy in the back.
There she is, head coach's wife. This is a little bit better feeling than last week, right? So part of one of the things I came in, I had an administrator tell me that in his experience, seeing Grapevine win a really close ball game that maybe was kind of on the verge of not winning, he had not seen that very often. I think he shared with Freeze after the game that was the first time he had seen that, just a bunch of guys figure out a way to win. Really proud of our guys, proud of this community, and you could feel the relief in the room. You could feel the air come out of the room. If y'all saw Jalen Holmes, when he kneeled down in victory, it was an overwhelming, emotional moment. Him and Will Mason hugged for probably a minute. I couldn't even get them to line up. But thank you guys so much for being there. It was a great crowd. Coach, will share anything with that?
It was just an amazing feeling, 12 straight losses and us going through that, coming into this program and seeing the overwhelming, community support and to finally, get over that hump. It was a special moment. It was a moment in which, for me, it was business as usual. Hey, we're getting this thing rolling because the expectations have never faltered. And that's what all our young men understand is that, yes, it was 0-10, but every game is a new opportunity to reinvent ourselves, to establish that dominance that we know we're capable of. And, it's just business as usual, and, we're looking forward to this week.
So kind of what we do in our show here is we kind of go into a preview mindset. First of all, I want to talk about our sub-varsities. It kind of started on Wednesday night with those guys. Our freshman B team goes out. They win 14-6. Our JV wins 14-0, and then our freshman A team win 41-0, and they had 3 touchdowns called back.
Yeah, it was a clean sweep of Birdville is what it was, which is, pretty amazing. Yes, we did get over that one win for the varsity, but as a program, clean sweep is pretty exciting.
And I've talked about this because we've been together in multiple places. There's this thing called the freeze effect, and people don't understand it, but when you start looking at scoreboards and people aren't scoring points and things aren't happening, he's got a lot to do with it, and that's my expectation of him. That's my belief in him. And, it was evident the other night. Offensively, we did enough. I'm always going to think we should have scored 100. That's kind of my expectations. But I was really proud of our guys, proud of all of the kids and how hard they play. And I think there was that moment. There was a couple moments on Thursday night that was like, all right, this thing's teetering a little bit. And, man, our guys just continued to believe. Our coaching staff did a great job of reinforcing just relax and play. We're good. Everything's fine. And when we had those moments and we stayed calm and Freeze's presence and how calm, cool, and collective he is, because I'm not, it kind of balances us out, and we saw the results of that. Just really proud of our sub-varsities. So kind of getting into it, I want to talk about a little bit about – and we're going to kind of tag team a little bit here on this. We have game week objectives and we have game day objectives. And I think it's very important to talk about our game day objectives. What we did with our guys was try to reframe their mindset and to live in smaller increments. And I think what we do is we see the football game as this whole big picture of, like we've got to go win 4 quarters. We've got to win this mass amount of time. And we talked to our guys about the importance of winning the first 2 minutes and the last 2 minutes of each half. And we told our guys that if we could win all 4 of those 2-minute increments, I could almost give them a 98.5% chance we were going to win the ball game. If you look back on it, we won 3 out of 4. I don't think we came out in the third quarter and effectively won the first 2 minutes. But we won the first. We won the last of the first half, and then we won the last 2 minutes of the game. So in those increments, and what we told our guys was beyond that to reduce out and just focus on one drive entities. Focus on one drive. Don't focus on a quarter. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the score. Just focus on drive increments. And I think that helped our guys to really reduce down into trying to win smaller battles instead of seeing it as this big war. So you want to play?
Yeah, one of the battles I'd like to tell you guys, it's kind of like a football insight, is new rules in the game. So now with, high school football being in Texas, we have the NCAA rules. Now there's a 2-minute warning. That was part of the game. And to see, how are we going to schematically do things? We have a timeout before the 2-minute to kind of stop the clock. What is the opponent? We do a lot on defense of what if moments. Are they going to call a timeout before that 2 minutes? Are they going to use the 2 minutes? What are those types of things? Thankfully, they didn't use their timeout before the 2 minutes. So it kind of wasted time. And, now we're burning more clock. And, as we go into, the 99-yard drive and some of the things that, mishaps, I mean, it was a lot of chaos out there, and we're moving people in and out and winning that game. There was a time in the game when, I kind of got behind him and I said, hey, football's fun. And it was all this stuff, going crazy. And here we are, we're playing football, and it's fun. I mean, I live for those moments where it's very close, and I think we find out more about our young men and what they can hold, and if they hold their water or not when the game is close.
And then, the second objective for us was start out with a sense of confident purpose. I think we've been implementing confidence into our guys, and we've been trying to reinforce their confidence and, and those type things and playing with that confidence. But confident purpose is different. Purpose has a process. Purpose has a plan. Purpose means we're going to effectively be successful. And, man, I think it was very evident on our first drive offensively. We were pretty efficient. We came out, gave a lot of, what I call exotic looks and different looks and caused some formation variation that really helped us out there. So, our third principle was relax. Just relax, dude. Smile every once in a while. Just relax, okay? It's really hard for Cooper Towery, but everybody else does a pretty good job. Take calculated risk. Understand the calculated risk of football, man. We've got to take some risk. We've got to, take some shots downfield. We've got to bring some pressure on some third down packages. I had to go for the fourth down. Those type things. Managing the moment, I think, is a big piece for us. So as you talk managing a moment, we talk about, hey, guys, there's moments, and if you can manage those and you can mold those, those become very impactful and things you remember for a very long time. One thing that I thought we did as a staff really well was be on the same page. We were communicating really well. I don't really have to talk to Freeze much. I kind of know what he's thinking. He knows what I'm thinking. I never even ask him on fourth down because I know he's going to say, go for it. And he's going to say, yeah, go for it. You're fine. Because those are things that as long as a staff we're on the same page, it really helps us effectively with our players to kind of be in the same place. And I think that's even transcended through our community where I feel like we're all on the same page. The center of this thing is student-athlete experience, and we want our guys to have a good experience. And Friday night was a good one. Put on more pressure. When things get tense, when things get tight, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but putting on more pressure. One thing that I talked about is never be fulfilled or never be frustrated. So when things are really good, don't be happy and everything's good in the middle of the game and never be really frustrated. Just keep it somewhere in the middle and let's keep playing forward. And then we have a code, which is a life code for us, which is A + E = P, which means if you'll keep a great attitude and you'll keep great effort, you will see progress. Whatever progress looks like for you, you'll see progress. And that's something that I thought we did a really good job of. You want to tie in any of this?
I mean, the being fulfilled is or being frustrated. Us on defense, we're getting down to the wire and everything else, and we had an expectation to go into overtime is what we did. And that was our mentality. It was, we are winning, but we have not yet won. And that was the mentality to keep moving forward and keep climbing the mountain and, just keep pressure. He was talking about the late pressure we brought. we do a great job, I think, schematically of carrying a lot of blitz packages, into the week, and we don't show everything right away. I think, Tatum did a great job of getting that late blitz in there, and that really, showed another element of our defense, and it caught them by surprise on a 3rd and long, and next play they throw an interception to a guy, who was there. So it all ties into each other.
So kind of what we're going to do here is we're going to attempt to transition to film. I've got 2 special guests with me tonight. I'm bringing our staff so you guys can collectively meet them. First one's Coach Gross. Coach Gross married into the Grapevine community, which makes him the elitist of special people. And plus he brought his family, so that was awesome. But Coach Gross is from New York. That's somewhere way up there. I've never been there. Probably won't ever go, but he's from up there. But he went to University of Alabama. So those are like 2 polar opposite extremes, okay? So Coach Gross is our special teams coordinator. He also handles our defensive backs. It was really cool to walk into the room. When I walked to the staff room, I had a bunch of assistants, and nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody wanted to be around me. Nobody liked me. They didn't know me, but they didn't like me. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. But Gross talked to me, so I was like, okay, we'll keep this guy around. He actually talks to me. So I'm just very thankful. He's done a great job. He's juice. He's a juice guy. He's high energy. Next guy is personal, good friend of mine, Coach Sides. As we get to the plays, you're the team manager. So Coach Sides and I were together in 2022 at Midlothian Heritage. He's my signal guy. He is my counterpart in the fact that I will get, if 10's here, I'll get on like 25 like that. And Sides comes back, and he's like the be still, Jesus, calm voice in the room. I've had the pleasure of, I coached my older son. He counseled my older son because we would be about to strangle each other, and I would go, just go talk to him before I kill him, okay? And Sides has always been that guy. If you have a receiver, he is well taken care of. He is being developed on and off the field. This guy understands what I call the pastoring aspect of coaching. And he's just it's like having, I don't know if he's a little brother. I don't really know how old I am, so he's either a little brother or an older son. I'm not sure. I think he thinks I'm like 90, so I'm somewhere in that figure. But these 2 guys are extremely important. As we attempt to get into film study with this delay, they're going to talk through some scheme. And our big thing is like we feel like we study scheme. We feel like we're scheme guys. I want to be a scheme guy. I've always wanted to be schematically sound, advanced, and 2 steps ahead of everybody else. Your guys, your student athletes are learning a very advanced scheme. Quarterbacks have a lot on their shoulders. And, so you see that defensively. Freeze and I, whether at the collegiate level or whatever, it's advanced scheme. And these guys know it just as well as we do, and they're probably more advanced. All of our special team stuff is coming straight from Coach Gross. So is this going to happen, guys? All right. I got it up. You ready? Okay, so this is going to flip. So here's the deal. When I see odd front defenses, I think there's not a lot of people standing on the what I call level 1 edge, and I'm going to bring something crazy to them. So we brought this 9-man exotic thing that we had a nickname for it. It's kind of an in-house nickname, but we had a nickname for it, and we called it Par 6 because we thought we was going to score. That was a plan, but we know that we're going to get some gap unsound. We're not going to get edge contained. We call it 9-man. What we're doing is we're overloading the left side here. We've got Hicks over there at 45, and he is going to cut what we call cut the backside B gap. We're getting a wash out of the left side. Cooper Towery, Mr. Utility there, is going to flex to the left. He's not going to pump. He's going to what we call flex to the left to try to get some roof movement. When we get that roof movement, we know that we can get in the crease. So you kind of see the crease happening here. Hicks does a good job of logging. We got guys climbing stuff, and here we are on the edge right now, and we're going. That kind of stuff, to me, sets a foundation and an expectation that, one, because here's the deal. When you give people what they don't know, they play slow, and allows us to play faster than them. So that allowed us to do that, get an advantage. Now, second play, and I'm going to let Coach Sides talk about this. we immediately jumped into what we call empty, which is our Jags package. We were 11 people in the box to no people in the box. Coach, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Coach Smith talks about trying to be exotic and trying to make some people think to make slower. You know, you got 15, 16, 17-year-old kids trying to figure out, hey, they're going from 9 people on the line to, oh, man, they got 5 wide, you know, and we're trying to get them to think and become very slow, you know. So we split out into 5 receivers. We have a little bunch up top, and we give the quarterback an option and say, hey, if you like that and we like the numbers over there, then let's throw it. We're all about numbers. And so, you know, we liked it a lot, and we have a lot of faith in our receivers, right? And I think we do a good job of executing our job. You know, we harped on it all week of, hey, we got to make sure that point man, the guy that's in front, we got to make sure that point man is taken care of. And if you look and you go back to the tight, if you look at it, we got 3 guys on one. We got 3 guys on one, and I'm saying that's going to be like easy math. 3 is going to be bigger than 1. So we're going to move that, and we're going to get 9 yards. And whenever you rip off a big one for the first play, you know, it gives us a little confidence and some momentum, and then we go ahead and get 9 yards on a simple throw that's right across the hall from them, you know.
And the thing, we're always going to do stuff like that into our sideline because they can't fix it on our sideline. They can't get it communicated. They can't get IDs over. They can't get checks. And plus, if there's a holding penalty, I can talk the official out of it usually. So those were our first 2 sequence plays. On our third one, we were kind of staying with the vein of that and kind of being aggressive here. This is a zone read. I'm going to let him talk receiver play. I'll talk a little bit of the quarterback play. We're going to read the level 1 edge. If we get a give, we're going to give the football. If not, we're going to come out what we tell our quarterbacks, come out hands loaded, and you're reading the alley. As the alley closes, Coach, talk about a little bit of the alert call.
Yeah, so we call this Z alert, and so if you look at it, the guy that's going to be the force, once we pull it, is going to be that corner who is really, really hard. He's a hard cover 2 corner, and we took advantage of that. We said, hey, he's going to fit right now, and we're just going to replace right behind him. We're going to slip right behind him in that little hole shot right there. And so that, you know, this is as efficient as we can get of catch, and let's just make someone miss, and we'll get to that later. But, you know, it's just trying to put one guy in conflict with 2.
And then all of this is we're trying to get into our boundary so they can't fix it. So they're either going to waste a timeout or they're going to move on. So we'll kind of skip down to the next part of this. Now, we're on play 9 of this drive. This is the good stuff. You know, it's just how you draw it up. So here we are. We're back to, again, you know, for us, the way we see it is we've loaded the box. We've ran something crazy. We've jumped in empty. We threw a quick screen. We took some cover 2 hole and took a whole shot, and now we're down the goal line. We're going to load the box again, give you what we call a 4-surface side, attacking the edge, but actually we're going to counter it. You know, everybody when we get down here thinks we're going to hand the ball to Jake, and, you know, just because of size and build, we get a lot of flow here, and we get our quarterback inserted. If there's anybody in the world that deserves to get that touchdown, I think it's my man Jay Homey. He's kind of done a really good job for us and played really well. All right, so the master schemer is going to come in here. Coach Gross is going to come in here and talk a little special teams. I'm going to let you run all of it.
Okay, so every week, right, punt block really is kind of abstract. Like, before I studied it, I didn't know what I was looking at. But I'll kind of show you from the wide first. So we've got 2 receivers out wide, eligible. We've got to make sure we're covering them. So I kind of just X them off the board. That's man-to-man. In here, we've got them outnumbered up front. So I'm saying let's put this guy right here in a bind. We're going to send 1 inside and 1 outside, and whoever he doesn't block should come free. And so it works just like we kind of thought it would. Okay, we get Brody free right here. Our angle kind of changes a bit, and we just missed this one. I know we got one last week. I thought we were going to get one this week. Okay, but that's our best shot at it. But so when you watch us this Friday and you're saying, well, what are we doing this week? We're just trying to get one guy free by creating a 2-on-1 with someone who's supposed to block that guy. Right here, we don't get it, okay? Luke Stewart does a really good job of pointing at the football. If we're not going to catch it, we've got to make sure our guys are getting away from it. We point, Oh, almost got one there. Okay, so we'll keep working on that. But we get away from the football. We get the ball back to our offense.
So going into this, we're still kind of into our first scripted plays and kind of how we do things. And this was Todd Johnson. He's our other quarterback. I've got 3 senior quarterbacks that do a great job. It's a really tough room when you got 3 seniors. There's only one guy gets the jog out there, right? Ty's kind of in this mix here. This was his play. He's a big, strong-arm guy. He's done a great job of kind of evolving into the system and doing a good job. So as we go into this is a front side RPO for us, and I'm going to let kind of Coach Sides take it here.
Yeah, so we're trying to put the alley defender in conflict, and you know, once you pull it, you have a second read. So Ty does a really good job on this one right here. He sees that our alley defender, that outside backer, comes in, and so he pulls it, and he sees that the corner breaks down because, you know, we said earlier that they're a whole shot corner, right? They're a tight corner on that. And so, you know, I don't know if you guys know this or know football, but that is a very, very, very hard throw, and that is an elite throw right there. So, you know, it's really cool whenever you have a guy that can rip that. And then obviously you see that Luke Stewart makes a big-time play. And so makes one guy miss, and it's a house call. And everybody, you can tell, is super pumped on that. So that's an all-around awesome play.
Todd Johnson, you in the house? There he is. Broke hand and all. All right, we're back to special teams.
Okay, so we got a kickoff right before the half. Okay, and I'll be honest, just like kickoff is my worry, right? There's a lot of space out there. There's a million things that could go wrong, okay? But right here tonight, like, we did a great job of kicking the ball to the corner and not letting them leave. Okay, so earlier in the year, we were starting this thing. You can see we got 4 over here. We got 6 over here on this night. We started 5-by-5, and as y'all saw week 1, the ball kept coming back to the field. So we made the adjustment, hey, let's put 6 guys to the field where we've been getting a lot of return yards, okay, and let's keep them locked in that corner, okay? So it all starts right here. Really, really good kick by Cade, okay? And you can see, so we've got those 2 levels, and they start on 2 levels. And so we get these guys, these are our hammers. Their one job is run down the field, hit the guy with the ball. And then our level 2 right here is our hangers. So that is, should we get creased, they're there, okay, to kind of protect us, cast the net, and catch whatever falls out. But right here, Luke and Brody do a really good job of hustling down the field late in the half, right? There's about 40 seconds left in the half right now, and it'd be really easy for them to say, I'm going to jog down the field. I'm not going to play that hard right now. But they get down there, do a really good job of holding the guy up, and then we get one more shot right here from Bargy, okay, to possibly get the ball out, right? That's a situation where it's easy to not play hard late in the half. We go do a really good job, and so they don't feel like they have anything. They go, they take 2 knees. We head to the locker room with the lead. Okay, now, possibly play of the night, right? We block a field goal. Okay, so this right here, probably saw a little bit last year. We call this push right. So rules, right? Coach Freeze talked about them. If you want to rush and you're going to make contact with somebody up here, you have to have at least one hand in the ground. 3-point or 4-point stance. So that's why we've got Tatum right here. Okay, and he's going to push Cedric into that guard, and so we're getting 500 pounds of force blocking one guy, and we're trying to run him over, right? So we get Cedric through. He creates the turn right here that gets the guard, oh, a little too far, that gets the guard to turn his shoulders. Tatum comes in behind him, does a good job timing it up, getting his hands up. We block the kick. That's part 1. Cooper Towery scoops, and Maddox right here does a really good job of being in front and just running through the kicker, right? Kickers can't tackle us, okay? They are people too, but they're not tacklers. I love you, Sheldon, okay? But we do a really good job. You see the convoy coming with them, making sure there's nothing there. And then we get in the end zone. Coach?
then we decided it would be a really cool idea to dive in the end zone because aesthetically that's going to make better photos. And then that proceeded with us not getting the touchdown and the head coach, who has to call the offense, being so irate that he couldn't even focus and was really, really unhappy. And Coach Clark and Coach Sides are going, just call a play. Just call a play. I'm like, shut up. I don't want to call a play. We should be calling an extra point. So, all right, I'm good. But nonetheless, you can't really get mad when people block kicks. So, here's the bigger issue. That officiating crew is a college crew. They call the Lone Star Conference. So I've had them when I was a head coach at the college level. So I knew all those guys. So one, I knew he was getting calls all night. That's good. Two, he walks over and he goes, Coach, it was bad. I said, man, there ain't no way. That kid's a pastor's kid. There's no way he would taunt. He must have been, somebody was about to tackle him. There's no way he would have just dove in the end zone. And he goes, Coach, I promise you, wait till you see it on film. And I see it on film, and I'm like, dude, you made me look like an idiot. I'm out here on the table trying to defend your character, and you think it's Superman as you dive in the end zone. But here we are on the third down call. We didn't score on the first two plays. I'm extremely frustrated. I don't know what to call because I'm still ticked off because I'm pouting, as my wife would say. So I just said, just run power. Which, according to Coach Clark, is God's chosen play, correct? There you go. And we hand it to Jake, and Jake kind of handles the rest. Talk a little bit about that, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy. You know, again, they're giving us that front, and you know, we get a soft edge, and it's easy to start moving into it. And, you know, whenever you have a workhorse like Jake and Jaime back there, you know, it's super easy to say, hey, go, it's yours. So, you know, and players make plays. That's all it is. You know, we dial it up. You know, Coach Clark does an awesome job with the run game. You know, both of us, we're kind of not in that. It's all him.
Not a run game guy for sure.
But he dials it up and he knows it, and you know, the kids get fired up for it, and it's just players make the plays whenever they need to.
And Jake does a really good job. I always tell the guys if they score a touchdown, they get cool pictures and new girlfriends. It's just a rule. Jake does an incredible job with his end of the touchdown celebration there. And, man, that was a nail in the coffin. That was third. You know, we talk to our guys about what we call CARTS, which is situational awareness, which means know and respect the situation. It's a big thing for us. CARTS. Any of you teachers, young, steal it. But we talk about this. We have to have this run. We have to have this play to win this game. So for us to stick our nose in there, Jake to go finish and get the touchdown, that was huge. Really proud of our O-line there. Big-time play. All right, we're going to see a few defensive highlights here.
Okay, so we're on defense here. Kind of backed up into our own end. 3rd and 9, so this is a real pivotal point in the game. We've already blocked one field goal. If they're going to kick it again, we're going to go block another one, but we don't want to get them to get that far. We bring some boundary pressure right here from the weak side. Okay, so we're rolling to cover 3. Cooper gets motion back in, gets back out. They do a really good job of kind of doing what these offensive guys talked about, right? The quarterback's going to hold the ball, and then when he gets pressure, I'm going to flip it out there. He flips it out there. We lose our edge, regain our edge, and then it takes great effort getting to the football, okay? This is not a fancy play. We just get to the football with bad intentions. We knock it out, and then Jack, who's sitting right over here, winds up picking it up. Okay, so I'll give you the end zone shot here. Okay, because you can really see, like, where does Jack start this play? Here. Okay, so he's on the other side of the field. It's run. He's got to get off a block. He never stops moving his feet. Tayden does an awesome job getting it out. We get on it. We feedle. You can see how hopped up the bench is. Like, no one is more excited for the guys on the field than the guys standing on the sideline. And that's just what's awesome about kind of what we've got going on right now. Everyone is invested. Okay, so a little later, we're right here. So we're playing our base coverage, okay, not really sending anything, and it's 4th and 4. Could be a rundown, could be a pass down, not sure what we're getting. So these defensive linemen really have to play it very straight up. They read pass, they get in their rush lanes, And then once he's broken the pocket, we get linebacker help so that he can't scramble, go get himself a first down. Okay, so I'll show you the tight shot here. Okay, DBs do a really good job of giving this guy nothing to look at, right? Nothing to throw. He says, I gotta get it myself. Well, we do a really good job of getting to the football, making sure we've got more guys there than them, and making sure he ends on the ground. Okay, so here's the end zone shot. This is, for my money, the best shot of all time, right? Now, we kind of lose it. We juke out the cameraman, but you can see how many guys we have at the football right here. If we break a tackle right there, we've got other guys there to go clean it up. Finally, probably the biggest play of the night, right? So it is 3rd and 12. No, it's a pass down. No, we're going to get a shot here. We pick this off. We ice this thing. Okay, send 4-man interior pressure. And what gets lost in all this is the pressure created doesn't let the quarterback step into the throw. So he short arms this thing, leaves it a little short. Judah's there. What's up, Judah? He's there. He makes a tremendous play on the ball, and then we're sitting there like, well, I think he's got to come out. Because when you catch it in the field of play, you wind up in the end zone, that could be a safety. That's obviously not what we want. So he rips this thing away, runs down the field. Okay, right here, I'm getting a little nervous. I'm like, he's going to go out of bounds. Nope. High school kid, I'm going to go score me a touchdown. Okay? But you can see he's holding that thing. He's holding it tight. He knows I can't let it go. Okay? And we get 1 first down. We take that knee that Coach Smith talked about, and we wind up walking out of there with a victory. Okay, so can't be happier.
Hey, can you give these guys a round of applause, please? Yeah, it is. Okay, we're going to kind of get into, when we get into our players of the week and all that, now, what we're doing, and we've told these guys, and they're extremely nervous, they're going to get 2 questions. I don't know what the answers are going to be. Just prepare yourself. And the questions are coming for freeze, so there's no telling what the questions are. Okay? But our core values are kind of precedents. We don't care about stats. Stats are cool. Stats are good. Stats, everybody honors stats. Newspapers honor stats. We're going to honor 2 character traits that identify with who we are. So our blue-collar guy, come on, Brady. He is our staying back, which is our tight end. Go stand by Freeze. You don't want to stand by me. Brady does a great job for us. Never asks for the ball. Never wants to pass. Never wants to run. He just lines up. He does what he's asked to do. Phenomenal asset to us, and he finishes everything he starts. All right, Freeze, you got him.
All right, you ready, Brady? Yes, sir. All right, the people want to know you. I want to know you, right? What football position did you grow up to love and wanted to play?
Linebacker.
My man, I knew it. I knew it. I've been telling this guy he is one.
Yeah.
All right. If you could be any big cat, which one would you be and why?
Lion.
Why?
King of the jungle.
Okay, my man. Appreciate you, Brady.
Blue collar. Brady's our blue collar guy. Our next guy is our intensity guy. Our intensity guy is Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Jack is a good time.
Jack
All
is
right.
fun. I like Jack. He's a very hard worker for our D-line. You know, sometimes he asks a lot of questions, and we're trying to get him just go Jack Attack right now. He's not Jack Attack right now. Yeah, Jackie Wacky. Here, Jack, we want to know what kind of jelly? Grape or strawberry?
Grape.
Ew. Okay. If you were to play on offense, what position would you play?
QB.
My man. All right, Jack.
Our Wednesday core value is our we guy. Our we guy this week is Brody Hunter. We specialize, we really proud of ourselves getting a lot of guys a lot of targets and touches. I never knew that Brody didn't get a target or a touch Friday night. because he never said nothing, which is very unorthodox with the receivers. They usually let you know when they're not getting the football. But it's just a testament to his character and who he is.
So, Brody, tell us somebody you look up to right now.
I look up to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Now, the number 15, does that have any significance to you, or is there another number that's more important to you?
It is not, no. I would like number 14 for DK Metcalf. Really like DK.
You going to be that big when you get older?
Hopefully.
We hope.
Brody Hunter. So T3 is another one of my weird formulas. T3 means we believe if you'll be tough and you'll trust each other, you'll see Thanksgiving. And in football, if we see Thanksgiving, that means we're playing in the playoffs, right? So our T3 guy, all right, he's tough and he's trustworthy, is Judah Johnson.
JJ. What's up, man? All right, tell us a song maybe in Spotify that you have on your playlist that maybe the fellas wouldn't know. Like, what's your kind of guilty pleasure? Are you a country guy? Are you a slow jazz? What are you?
I was listening to this song today called "You Remind Me" by Usher.
Okay. All right. We got it. I was thinking K-pop Demon Hunters. I was thinking he was going full blast. Now, playing corner and cut. Talk us through. You know, we had an injury. You got to come in. Talk us through that last play of the game and kind of your mentality going into it.
All I was thinking is, I'm going to score. I was not running out of bounds.
All right, man. We got to work on that. Thank you.
GRIT is an acronym for our game day, which means give relentless intensity tonight. Our GRIT guy is our kicker of all people, Austin Schilling.
So we talk a lot about pressure. You know, pressure can either, bust a pipe or it can create diamonds. And diamonds need a little bit of friction to become beautiful as they are. And you faced a lot of pressure. We won by a field goal. Can you kind of walk us through mentality of preparing for that field goal?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing we do in practice every day. It's just focusing on the fundamentals and just sticking true to that.
Okay. Are you a What's your favorite color?
I'm a red guy.
Okay.
That's a safe answer.
All right, that's a safe answer. I thought he was going to say purple.
Okay, our last one is our staying, which is the overall embodiment of who we are with our culture, with a selfless mentality, tradition invested, always adaptable. It's kind of was the word that stuck out. And when we sat down with core values, as soon as we said, he said, well, I know who our staying guy is this week. It's Tatum Evans.
So, Tatum, the change from last year, to this year to number 0. Why number 0? You're a senior. You get to pick whatever number you want, and you picked 0.
I feel like it's a cool number because if you're wearing number 0, you know that guy's a dude. Like just on the other team.
Okay.
That's why I like it.
Okay. Talk us through your Clash Royale. Right? Right? How much time do you spend on Clash Royale?
So I'm actually taking a break right now.
Ooh.
It was kind of affecting my mental health because I get so mad when I was playing. But fun fact, we did get him on playing the game.
Yes, I am.
And I think he spends about half of his paycheck on the game now.
A little bit.
Maybe more. He, in like probably a month, he leveled up to higher than most of our team.
Yes, I did. I spent a lot of time
pay
on
to
it.
win.
No. I spent a lot of time on it. Thank you, Tatum. You're done.
That kind of backfired on you, babe. Okay, we're going to kind of wrap this thing up and kind of get into our preview. A preview for us is kind of what we're looking for. We kind of shared a quote on Sunday night. I shared it with our staff. And what we're talking about, this is season 2 for us. We believe that football is really 3 seasons. There's your non-district, your non-conference play, which we just finished. Now we're going into season 2, which is our district and conference play. So as we kind of transition into this, we kind of get a different mindset. Things really matter, and, playoff implications and all those things. So we talked about, this quote was the quote that we used, and it's pressure is a privilege, but it's also a preference. Internally put pressure on yourself, or external pressure will be placed on you. So going into this week, I told our staff, I said, man, we've got to be on these guys. We've got to coach them extremely hard. We've got to keep the intensity up. We've got to kind of keep that pressure up. And that was our deal, is we want to put pressure on ourselves. We don't want other people putting pressure on us. We want the pressure come from internally. The expectations are internally. We don't want anything external. Nobody else gets to set the, kind of the temperature on us. We get to set that. So that's kind of our quote of the week. Our game week objectives here as they kind of come on the screen here in just a second. You talk about the first one.
Yeah, so we're talking about internal pressure, and maybe a little bit of external pressure. Some of that external pressure can apply to us. So today at practice, we had nothing but crowd noise. It was loud. It was chaotic. We're over here trying to tell them the plays, coming in from the sideline. We're subbing. I mean, it was pure chaos, and we just had loud noise. They had a hard time hearing each other, so we had to, use signals and everything else, and that's kind of the atmosphere. We want practice to be very tough so that the game slows down on Fridays. If everything on a Thursday and Friday is slow motion for them and they're making plays, that's because we went extremely fast. Our scout team, shout out to our scout team, they are amazing. We get 30 plays in every single day, and they are running those plays with high efficiency, and we're rolling through it. So, tomorrow's Wednesday's practice, I'm really looking forward to the type of pressure we're going to put our guys in so that Friday, that product, when you guys see that, it's going to be amazing.
Our next deal was to challenge yourself to be better. Better doesn't have expiration dates. That is our big thing. Better does not have expiration date, just be better. Understand the expectation of the assignment, not just the assignment. Another thing that we're really trying to get our guys to do is think football. Think football, think alignment, think spacing, think leverage, think down and distance, think football. Go home and watch a football game. That'd be really cool instead of playing a video game. But, that's things that, this generation, they don't watch enough football. They don't think football. And then, Freeze, kind of sharing the think football aspect for you guys.
So we do a lot of different things. I mean, we line up in multiple formations, and we just say get lined up. We believe as a defense, if we can get lined up, statistically speaking, 68% of the time, we're going to win that rep. Defensive football is about lining up, and then the in-play adjustments. Are we spilling? Are we boxing? What kind of coverage? Are we staying on top of the receiver, with the receiver, behind the receiver? What are we doing? Are we rolling out? Are we adding an internal pressure, external pressure? Where's the pressure coming from? Boundary, field, corner, safety, those types of things. So we start the play off right by getting lined up. Our playing lines up with us getting the guy on the ground. That's what defensive football is. How fast can we get their guy on the ground before he can try to get more yards? And we put a lot of emphasis on that by swarming to the football. Coach Gross was talking about how many bodies we have at the point of attack with the football. That's what we want to do. So, when guy number 3 and 4 is there, now they're trying to get the ball out. All right, now we create turnovers. And, expectation for the defense is we always want to be out there. We back to against the wall. Birdville was, I think, 2 for 7 on our side, and they only had 2 touchdowns, and they had 7 opportunities. And we backs against the wall, and we thrived in that. And I think our players are really thriving and they're thinking about football. When they come out in some wacky formation, we're getting lined up because we prepared them for that. And I think that goes in a lot to how we prepare them and their reception to us. When we first got here, it's like, oh, these 2 new guys, I'm the 4th defensive coordinator for some of these seniors. So for them to be receptive to me and take what I'm coaching them is really a big ups to them and their applying of everything we're doing for football. They've been in 4 different schemes, so it's been great.
Well, and 2 in the – you're good at this, dude. The thing, too, for us, with offenses. We started running the system in 2007 is when I first started. We've ran it at every level, but I stopped doing playbooks in 2014 because we don't teach plays, we teach principles. And by teaching principles, it forces guys to understand and think football. So we don't teach plays. We don't give them playbooks. We teach them principles of leverage and spacing and those type things. And that way, it transcends for them. It translates for them. If they go to the collegiate level, they have more success because they understand football. They're not robots. We want to raise guys who feel independently confident to go out and make plays. So, and then our last was prepare on stake standard football and based on all three phases. Preparation's huge for us this week. We want to prepare based on our standards, not our opponent's standards. So that's been a big thing for us this week. So that's our game week objectives. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for Coach Small stepping in. Judge showed up in the back as he was, let's go. Did we win? We won. Whoever we played, we win. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our special guests. Thank you to our players of the week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The Mustangs take the field this Friday night at Mars Stadium against the Everman Bulldogs. If you can't be there in person, join us for Mustang Friday night on Tradio. Brought to you by the Grubbs family of dealerships.